We talk endlessly about probiotics, the beneficial bacteria themselves, but far less about prebiotics, the specific fibers that feed those bacteria. This is backwards. Prebiotics are arguably more important than probiotics for most people, yet they're less sexy to market and require actually eating specific foods rather than just taking a pill. Prebiotics are distinct from general fiber. Not all fiber is prebiotic. Prebiotic fibers resist digestion in the small intestine, reaching the colon intact where bacteria ferment them. This fermentation produces short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyrate, which have profound systemic health effects beyond just gut health, anti-inflammatory effects, improved insulin sensitivity, even potential neuroprotective properties. Specific fibers qualify as prebiotics. Resistant starch, inulin, fructooligosaccharides, galactooligosaccharides, and pectin. Different fibers feed different bacterial species, which is why diversity matters. You want multiple types of prebiotic fibers from multiple food sources, feeding a diverse microbiome rather than just one or two bacterial strains. Prebiotic-rich foods include garlic, onions, and leeks, all high in fructans and inulin. Underripe bananas provide resistant starch, which disappears as bananas ripen and starch converts to sugar. Asparagus is rich in inulin. Jerusalem artichokes are extremely high in inulin but notorious for causing gas. Oats contain beta-glucan. Apples provide pectin. These are common, affordable foods available everywhere, not exotic superfoods. Here's the critical warning. You cannot jump to high prebiotic intake without consequences. If you've been eating a low-fiber diet and suddenly start consuming large amounts of prebiotic-rich foods, you will experience significant bloating, gas, and discomfort. The fermentation produces gas as a byproduct. Your microbiome needs time to adapt. Start with small amounts in cooked forms, which are easier to tolerate, and increase gradually over weeks. Practical incorporation is simpler than it sounds. Garlic and onions are the foundation of cuisines worldwide. Just add them to most meals you cook. Eat slightly green bananas rather than waiting until they're covered in brown spots. Make overnight oats a regular breakfast. Add asparagus to dinners when in season. The goal is regular, consistent exposure to diverse prebiotic fibers, not massive amounts of any single type. Prebiotic supplements exist, inulin and FOS powders that you can add to smoothies or yogurt. If you go this route, start with tiny doses, literally a quarter teaspoon, and increase very gradually. Whole foods are preferable because they provide additional nutrients and compounds beyond just the isolated prebiotic fiber, but supplements can help people who struggle to get adequate amounts from food. The symbiotic strategy combines prebiotics with probiotics, fermented foods providing bacteria and prebiotic foods feeding those bacteria. Neither alone is as effective as together. Eating sauerkraut with meals that include onions and garlic creates an optimal environment for beneficial bacteria to thrive. This partnership is key to microbiome optimization. Individual variation is enormous. Some people produce massive amounts of gas with certain prebiotics, particularly those high in FODMAPs, fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. People with IBS often need to limit high FODMAP foods, including many prebiotic-rich options. This doesn't mean avoiding prebiotics entirely, but choosing lower FODMAP sources like oats and moderate amounts of others based on personal tolerance. The microbiome research is evolving rapidly, revealing connections between gut bacteria and obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, autoimmune conditions, mental health, and more. Feeding beneficial bacteria through prebiotic fiber is one of the most accessible interventions for modulating your microbiome. It's not a cure-all, but it's a foundation. Start small, increase slowly, prioritize diversity, and remember that temporary gas is a sign of bacterial fermentation, not necessarily a problem. Your microbiome is adapting, and that adaptation supports long-term health in ways we're only beginning to understand.